What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to a very special series on this channel. I am back in the P4G. In case you didn't watch my update video for whatever stupid reason, go watch the update video. It's there for a reason for you to watch, especially if you watch the P4... what the fuck ever. Anyway, we are back in the P4G, and I took over a team from my buddy King Bub and the Munchlax United, made some good changes to it, and I also got me an assistant coach because I think it's always best whenever you team build with somebody, and having somebody reliable to team build with is amazing. So my assistant coach, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people about your channel, everything like that real quick.
Yeah, hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here. Thanks for having me, Kelly. If you guys don't know me, I also do a lot of Draft League content on my channel. I'm a part of a couple different leagues, and I've also been an analyst for the GBA in recent seasons. So happy to be here.
Yeah, he's really smart at the game. He thinks of in and outs, and he thinks of a lot of shit that I don't think about. So I'm really happy to have CJ. He's always there whenever I ask for help. So seriously, CJ, thank you very much for helping me out whenever I ask.
Yeah, no problem.
So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the team builder that we built for my buddy Leo and the Durham Druddigons. Real quick, we'll talk about his team real quick. He has a Victini, Garchomp, Tangrowth, Klefki, Mega Arrow, Crook, Cobalion, Skuntank, Excelgor, Jellicent, and Raichu, with his Z-move users being Victini, Garchomp, and Cobalion. Now, CJ, go ahead and what do you think the biggest threat to my team is on his team?
So probably the biggest offensive threats are the Victini and the Arrow. The Arrow has the potential to outspeed a lot of your Mons, even like a +1 Dragonite if you chose to bring such a set. And the Victini is just obviously a big threat to any team, and it really forces a certain type of team building. You're forced to run berries on certain Mons and things like that. And
I don't have very good fire resist on my team. Like, my best fire resist is Rhyperior. And aside from that, it's not the best. So that thing is like super scary. I also think Garchomp is a pretty big threat, honestly. Just because like Choice Scarf Garchomp is very scary offensively, and then defensively, Rocky Helmet Rough-Skin Garchomp is very threatening for my offensive threats. Just like Rhyperior and also Darm and Mega Medicham. So
yeah, you've got a couple good ground resists, but you also have many ground weaknesses.
I think everything else on my team, aside from my immunities and Mega Medicham, is weak to it.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
I think Crocodile and Garchomp are two guaranteed brings. I think Mega Arrow is a guaranteed bring. Klefki, Tangrowth, I think, are two guaranteed ones. I think Skuntank and Cobalion and Jellicent are also very good brings on his part. So I think he has a very good lineup that he can bring. But CJ and I crafted a team that we think is going to work out very, very well. We crafted a team that we think it has a lot of checks to everything on his team and has some very good win cons. So we decided that the way we wanted to win this game is with Scarf Gengar or Scarf Darmanitan cleaning up in the late game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about those massive threats first off. First off, we do have our Choice Scarf Gengar with Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, no, Sludge Wave, what the hell? Sludge Wave, Dazzling Gleam, and Hypnosis. So just standard offensive moves, hits everything on his team super hard except for like Skuntank, and Crocodile, except for Dazzling Gleam, hits it pretty hard, but it switches into Sludge Wave and Shadow Ball pretty easily. And the biggest problem with this Gengar spread is the fact that if he switches into one of his dark types, like Crocodile and what's the skunk thing?
Skuntank?
Skuntank, yes, that thing, thank you. It pursuit traps me and it kills me. So the easiest way for me to try to check that without being pursuit trapped easily is with Hypnosis. Now, what's the percentage on Hypnosis? Like 85%?
So yeah, I think it's about 84% chance to hit one of, like, if you go for it on consecutive turns. So it's better than Focus Blast as usually how you compare it.
Yeah, and not only that, it allows me to switch out for free, keep my Gengar, and put something to sleep, which makes it much easier for me to try to switch into later on in the game. So I definitely think that Hypnosis is a very good bring on this end. I can't think of much else to bring on it, can you?
Yeah, we contemplated a few options like Will-O-Wisp, but the problem is that an offensive Crook can still potentially take us out with a Pursuit, even if it's burnt, or at least do a tremendous amount of damage. So it just didn't really seem to be worth it.
Yeah,
and Hypnosis, it hits everything on the team. There's nothing that's not hit by it. So
Yeah, it's dumb how much damage Pursuit does to this thing, because it's just so frail on the physical side. We also contemplated Destiny Bond, but we figured, well, I thought that if I have this thing in on like Jellicent, I click Destiny Bond as it switches out and he goes into Crook and he Pursuit traps me and kills me, that Crocodile would also go down. But we did our testing and that actually does not work. So that's a little bit less than ideal. But it was a good try.
Yeah. Our intentions were good.
Yeah. So this has enough speed to outspeed max speed Cobalion. Pretty standard shit. I think it's very, very self-explanatory except for Hypnosis. And then the secondary win con is going to be Choice Scarf Darm. If you know me, I really like Choice Scarf. I'm the opposite of Greg. Greg hates Choice Scarf. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He hates Choice Scarf, and I don't understand. It's such a good item. But general U-turn, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, Rock Slide, very standard coverage for his entire team. I need everything on this Rock Slide to hit Arrow, Earthquake to hit things like Cobalion if I don't want to take the recoil of Flare Blitz, and things like Skuntank if I don't want to take the recoil from Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz is Owl from Darmanitan. It's just very Owl. And then enough speed to outspeed Crocodile. Secondary win con, I say, because the rest of my team, it deals very, very well with the likes of Garchomp plus Jellicent. I would say that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the two big things that really would handle. So yeah, if you can eliminate those, then Darm just has a very clear path to victory with Flare Blitz.
Yeah, so we kind of sort of focused the rest of the team about trying to weaken down things that would be able to switch into Flare Blitz, and I think we did a great job with it. Starting off with the Assault Vest Electross. This thing has a bunch of different things that it can do. 28 speed EVs allow me to outspeed 20 invested Tangrowth. If he runs any more speed than that, good on him. He's less bulky. The 12 in special attack guarantees that I 3-hit KO Spadef Klefki with Flamethrower, meaning that if he wants to try to set up 3 layers of spikes, if he wants to try to Toxic me, if he wants to do anything like that, I can guarantee 3-hit KO him, which is great, unless he has Draining Kiss, but that's weak as shit, unless you're Comfey. So, Comfey's a god, man.
Yeah.
So, it's very important to have those, and then 244 and 224, it allows me to be extremely bulky to take on bigger threats like Garchomp, like Crocodile, Cobalion, Mega Arrow, and the Assault Vest allows me to take on his more special threats that are also a little bit of a threat to my team, like Excelgor, Raichu. I can take on Skuntank pretty well, not the best, but pretty well, and I can also take on Tangrowth decently well. Oh, also, a big thing to mention about Scarf Darm and Scarf Gengar. If he outspeeds my Darm with Victini, I know for a fact that he is Choice Scarfed, and then I know that he will die to Rocks plus a Choice Scarf Gengar Shadow Ball. So that's going to be my main way of checking it offensively. Defensively, this can check it pretty well if he's like Scarfed and locks himself into something like Fusion Bolt to try to catch my Empoleon. If he doesn't want to like drop his stats for whatever reason. It also helps check it if he wants to run like Focus Blast or Blue Flare or anything like that to try to hit it a little bit harder. This can check it decently well by getting off some good Thunderbolt damage, forcing it out to take more Rocks damage. The main way that I think we're going to beat Victini is just by having it take Rocks damage and then die to Gengar late game. That's the only way I think I can check it on my team, aside from like Rhyperior. Which,
yeah, the nice thing is that his hazard removal is basically booty.
Yeah, it's either Skuntank or Mega Arrow, which neither one are good.
No, not really.
But yeah, so Electross plays a very big role in this team that I personally really like. I like Electross in general. I think it's a great mon.
Yeah, it's just so hard to like one shot.
Yeah, it really
basically
is.
Impossible.
And then I think that this is also going to be my designated lead for this game. The reason being, all of his rockers, right? Every single one of them. Garchomp, Mega Arrow, Crocodile, Cobalion. I can do massive amounts of damage to every single one of them with the likes of HP Ice, Thunderbolt, U-turn, Flamethrower. Can do massive amounts. If he wants to lead off with Klefki early on to get hazards up, you already know my plan for that, just to Flamethrower continuously. And he cannot one-shot me with any of them. And that damage alone instantly puts it in range for a little surprise heat set that I have in the back, along with Darmanitan or Gengar. So I think this is the best lead possible. Everything else on this team or on my entire draft can be punished as a lead. You had better reasoning for why Darm wasn't the best lead. What was that reasoning?
Well, it's just tough if he like leads with a Chomp or something like that, because he could potentially be Scarf Chomp, or if he's like Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, and you go for U-turn, you're immediately taking like 30%.
Yeah.
So and considering that Chomp's a pretty likely lead for him, like you're gonna be forced to hard switch out pretty much in either case.
Yeah. And
yeah, like you said, it can't get punished by really anything.
Yeah. And this has nothing to do with League, but I know in one of his Wi-Fi battles that I watched recently, he brought Scarf Rocks Chomp. So him bringing Scarf plus Stealth Rocks is not out of the realm of possibility. So I definitely think that Scarf plus Rocks Chomp is likely. So I definitely think Electross is the best lead. But then we have my boy Shaymin. I freaking love Shaymin. So freaking good. Toxic, Earth Power, Giga Drain, Synthesis, Max HP, some Bulk with 220, and then 36 with a Timid Nature. 36 with a Timid Nature allows me to outspeed Adamant, Max Speed, Skuntank, so I can guarantee get off a good Earth Power against it, prevent him from maybe doing a lot of damage to me with a Poison Jab before I kill him with an Earth Power or something like that. Toxic is there because his best switch in to Giga Drain or Earth Power, anything, Tangrowth. Instantly. I could run Air Slash, however, to an Assault Vest Tangrowth that's Spadef, it still barely 3-hit KOs it. If I'm offensive, I believe that was the calc I did. So I definitely think that Tangrowth or Jellicent are going to be his two best switch-ins to this, so I can just go ahead and Toxic it. If he wants to switch in something like the Victini, then I can easily go ahead and click Toxic against that. Rocks plus Toxic plus maybe an Earth Power if I have already Toxic'd his Tangrowth. It's going to be weakened very, very easily. So I definitely think that Toxic is necessary. Giga Drain. So we also did a little bit of process of elimination. If he brings Jellicent, I think it's forced into Fizz Def, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
For Darm, like
exactly.
Darm or Mega Metagym, he has to bring it. The only other option he has for Darm is Fizz Def Garchomp. If he brings Fizz Def Jellicent Giga Drain, it does 42%, so it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO after Stealth Rocks and Leftovers. I think that's what it was. God damn it, I'm gonna have to recalc this.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then there's really no way that he can beat you, because even if he goes for Toxic, like you're gonna be healing every turn with Giga Drain, and you could always just quickly pivot into Eel or something.
And with Natural Cure, Toxic doesn't really do a whole lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, Giga Drain does 40 to 47%. That's a 2.7% chance to KO after Stealth Rocks. So meaning that I'm able to go ahead and Toxic it and guarantee the 2-hit KO on Jellicent, which I think is decent.
Yeah.
Then Synthesis is there just because. So Shaymin is going to be extremely pressured this game. No matter what 6 he brings, it will be extremely pressured. He could bring Victini, Garchomp, Tangrowth, Klefki, Mega Arrow, Crook. It would be pressured. It would have to take hits from Tangrowth, Garchomp, Klefki, and Crocodile. If he brought like Cobalion, Skuntank, Excelgor, Jellicent, Raichu, it would still be pressure to take hits from Cobalion, Jellicent, and Raichu. So no matter what, this thing is very, very pressured on everything that we have to do. So Synthesis is a necessity to try to help keep me healthy, because I'm not bringing Togekiss, so I can't Wish Pass with it. And this is my Healing Wish user, so I can't let it get weakened and Healing Wish back up. So Synthesis is very, very necessary. Next up, Rhyperior. I'll let you go ahead and talk about this set if you would like to, since Rhydon is your favorite Mon.
Yeah, so we wanted a rocker, obviously, to do tremendous damage to Victini over time, especially if he has a set with U-turn. It's great for Arrow. It's great for for a lot of the Mons on his team. Toxic, just to hit his most likely switch-ins to this thing, being like a Tangrowth or a Fizz Def Jelly. Earthquake hits his team very hard. Ice Punch is great for Chomp and Arrow and Crook. And then we decided to make it Fizz Def because most of his team is physically oriented. There's a few Mons that could, run mix like Chomp with a Fire Blast or etc. But generally speaking, it's very physically oriented. And
he has been more likely to bring Special Victini over Physical. But even if he does bring Special Victini, I don't have the best switch-ins to it. Like, it sucks how bad my switch-ins are to Victini. So
yeah, we could have potentially run Rindo on this Rhyperior to take like an energy ball from Victini, but Pasho is really nice because it allows you to take like very minimal damage from Aqua Tail from Arrow, and also take very minimal damage from Surf from on Raichu.
And so doesn't Crocodile also get Aqua Tail?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, this would also allow me to live a Scald from Jellicent to Toxic it if I think that Toxic is more important than my Rhyperior at that point in time in the game.
Yeah, so it makes it a good lure, and it takes a lot of pressure off of Shaymin if you threats.
Yeah, totally agree. I think that this Mon is going to be a very good key player in this game. While it's not going to have a lot of recovery, it tanks hits for days. Life Orb, Garchomp, Dragon Claw does less than 30% to this thing. Like, it's just so unbelievably fat. And while I said that my team is very weak to Earthquake, so is his. Like, while it may not look like it, he doesn't have much that actually wants to take a ground move. Like Victini, Garchomp, Klefki, Crocodile, Cobalion, Skuntank, Raichu. None of them want to take a ground move. Like, they can, but it's going to hit very hard whenever it comes off a base 140 attack. So I definitely think Rhyperior is a very good player, and Stealth Rocks are so important in this game. I wish we could lead off with Rhyperior to get up rocks early, but I don't think that's a smart idea at all.
Yeah, but you come in on all those threats that we mentioned.
Yeah.
And, so it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, it should be very easy. And I force out something like a Klefki unless it's Magnet Rise. But even if it is Magnet Rise, the most it can do to me is Toxic. And I have a very good Klefki check, especially if he wants to keep Klefki around for late game, in my Empoleon. This Empoleon is super crucial, critical. I tried to combine the two words. But it's super important for this entire game. Mainly because it outspeeds so much of his team. The only thing it doesn't outspeed is Scarf Garchomp. Everything else, after an agility, it outspeeds. Aside from Scarf Cobalion as well. But I don't think I'll be bringing the Scarf Cobalion. But it outspeeds Mega Arrow, Jellicent, Scarf Crocodile, which I think is more likely than Scarf Garchomp.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. Like, if he brings Chomp plus Jelly, that he could be Scarf Chomp, but if he doesn't bring the Jelly and only brings Chomp, it's almost certainly Fizdef.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'll be to give you some good information and tell you when it's safe to set up.
Yeah. And Scald plus Ice Beam with this attack investment guarantees that I outspeed Mega Arrow that is speed creeping a +1 Dragonite. I know it's never really good to speed creep that, but with my max speed, I think even if he's max speed, I still outspeed him. And if he's max speed, he can't be max attack or max HP or anything like that. So I think that this is a very good spread. And Ice Beam with this special attack investment guarantees that I can outspeed Garchomp. That is like non-Yachi Berry. So that's pretty cool. And if he is in with Klefki, and all he has is like spikes, like a screen and Thunder Wave, or Toxic, or anything like that, and does not have a way of like super crippling me, I can actually set up multiple agilities on Klefki, and I can wear it down to the point where I Scald Burn it, and I can whittle it down, and even then Scarf Garchomp won't be able to outspeed this thing and hurt it too much. So I have a couple very good bulky mons to do some good pivoting. I have some very good fast win cons, and then I have a pseudo fast Wall Breaker. Oh, this special attack investment also allows me to outspeed to KO Crocodile after 2 Stealth Rocks switch-ins. So if he wants to switch in on rocks, and then I switch into my Shaymin, he switches out. Instantly when he comes back in, he's in range of Scald. So that's super important too.
Should Oko the arrow after rocks too? Yep,
Oko's the arrow after rocks. I think this set is amazing. This set is hard-walled by Jellicent, but that's why we have Toxic on Shaymin and Toxic on Rhyperior, which Rhyperior, his best switch-in would probably be Tangrowth or Jellicent. And my team is pretty good at pressuring Jellicent right now with Scarf Gengar, Electross that has some really good power behind it, and Shaymin. So I think I can handle Jellicent decently well to where this thing can sweep late game. And no worst case scenario, I just freeze him and he runs Surf and not Scald. I think that's a perfect strategy.
I mean, that's how I win all my games. So.
It's the best way to win. Do you have any final thoughts about this team? Anything that we're overlooking?
No, I think we've done a very good job of covering the offensive options with this team, and while also providing ourselves with good win cons. You know, I guess if we let ourselves get too weakened on our defensive mon, something like a Scarf Chomp could potentially clean up with a Dragon move. So I think that's probably the only thing to really be aware of.
Yeah. And I think if he's Scarf Chomp, it's more important that I keep Scarf Gengar around than Scarf Darmanitan.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So I think that's something that I need to figure out early on, is what he's going to be bringing as a Scarfer.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. First game back in the P4G, and it's against Leo, who was in the finals of TBU last season. He's a fantastic battler. He won UCL Season 2. Fantastic guy. I strongly urge all of you guys to go check out his channel down below, as well as the rest of the coaches there down in the description as well as my assistant coach, the Choice CJ. His link will be down in the description as below as well. Fantastic content creator, fantastic guy, very, very smart. I strongly suggest all of you guys go check out his channel. But yeah, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I already have the pregame shits. Like that's how you know it's real nerves. And we're not even.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And we're not even playing until Thursday, and it just became Monday 3 minutes ago. So, but I think that's where I'm going to end off this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below for me. Also, make sure to leave a comment letting me know what you think I missed out on, because I know that somebody out there is going to think that I missed out on something, or that I could have done something different in team building. But also, let me know if you guys like this dynamic team building thing. I really like it. I also want to try to do a live team building session later on, whether CJ's with me or not. I want to try that. If you guys would like that, let me know down below. I'd really appreciate it. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.